Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Listen, every now and then I do one of these videos and then I have to clarify because a lot of people seem to let stuff just fly over their heads. So let me start off by clarifying something for a lot of you who seem to miss it. Yesterday when I put up that video that had to do with the man named Mr. Powell and Kajil Mace, the X6 trial, a lot of you ran to the comment section and you were like, stop trying to change the story. SouFlo, we know says not him do it, it's him son do it. Some people even said I was there or my friend was there the day with me when it happened. Okay, you guys were not in court to testify that you were an eyewitness, right? Therefore, your testimony on social media is null and void. Anybody can be anything on social media. The point you missed is I was trying to point out that it is the same prosecutor, Paula Llewellyn, who is also involved in other cases like the Kentucky Kid case, that no one is holding this lady accountable. And there are people that still put their trust in the system, even though this lady has proven to be not a credible person at all. You understand? That was my main point. Now, as far as Powell goes, let me break it down to you like this, because you didn't listen. Okay? So, here I am, SouFLoTV. I am not in Jamaica, right? Currently, I am in the United States of America, which was the case of Mr. Powell. He was off the island. And he presented paperwork. You know when they ask for an alibi? You present paperwork. Police is going to ask you, well, where were you Monday between 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. and whatever? You say, I was off the island. Well, sir, do you have any proof to show that you were off the island? Yes, my passport. Here's the stamp to my passport. I left Jamaica 4 days before that day in question you're talking about. Here's the stamp in my passport. And I returned to Jamaica 2 days after the day you're talking about. Here's the return stamp in my passport. Well, that's a sealed and done alibi. Nothing more can go against that. Okay? Now we can argue around that and say stuff like, well, and probably pay somebody a customs for putting a stamp and he wasn't really off the island and it was really him. And then others would say, no man, it was really his son, he wasn't really here. End of the day, none of that matters. Here is what you guys didn't pay attention to, okay? You have a vehicle, a $10 million vehicle that was seen at the scene of a murder, a shooting, which resulted in a death, therefore a murder. Your vehicle, that same vehicle, was later found. Now remember, law enforcement put out information looking for a BMW. The law enforcement is guilty as hell as already because they lied initially and put out that it was a different color when in fact it was a red BMW or burgundy they were looking for. When they finally put out the right information, they actually found the vehicle. So here is my vehicle now. If you say SouFLoTV vehicle was found, was seen at the scene of the shooting, somebody will look like him, get out, fire the shot, got back in, drove away. Never see him again. The vehicle missing. He's missing. Or whoever was driving it is missing. The vehicle is then found in a garage that is owned by one of my friends who does body work on accident vehicles. You know, your vehicle crash up, your vehicle dented. He does the body work to straighten the vehicle out, make it look like new again. The vehicle was found in his garage. Hold on. All right, the vehicle was found in his garage, which is a friend of mine, right? And the vehicle was found under repair. What the thing that they call vehicle DNA. Vehicle DNA, for those of you who don't know, is if two vehicles are in an accident and they collide, here's a red vehicle and here's a yellow vehicle. The red vehicle is going to leave its mark in paint on the red vehicle. The red vehicle is going to leave its mark in paint on the yellow vehicle. The yellow vehicle is going to leave its mark in paint on the red vehicle. They will exchange DNA, believe it or not. And through testing, it can be determined that that is the same exact paint that came from that exact vehicle. In this particular case, that was done, and it was proven that that was the vehicle. Now everybody is saying, okay, he was off the island, so how can you charge him for murder? Well, hear this out. If he was not charged for murder, and this is what I was trying to say in the video, that Paula Llewellyn, she dropped the ball big time. When she went and said, we have no further anything, we just want to leave it right here, right? No further evidence to present or anything. They did not question this man. They did not ask him to be accountable for his vehicle. Remember, this $10 million vehicle was never reported stolen, right? You left this vehicle registered to you on the island, and albeit that you have proof that you were not on the island, so who was driving your vehicle? Who had access to your vehicle? Give us a list of names that have access to this $10 million vehicle. Because surely you don't just trust anybody to just take that vehicle, go willy-nilly and all over Jamaica, right? Give us a list of the names of who could have possibly had access to your vehicle. And we will question those people, bring them in for questioning. That was not done. Where was the vehicle found again? It was found in the garage of his friend, right? Okay, who is this friend? This friend needed to be brought in for questioning as well. This friend needed to be able to say who was the person that drove that vehicle into his garage and said, look, I need some body work done. You don't just have a vehicle drive away from the scene of a murder and it's found in your garage after it hit another vehicle or another vehicle hit it, and it's in your garage undergoing changes to the body of the vehicle to hide what was done to it, evidence, and you just walk away with no questioning. These are the things that I'm talking about. So Mr. Powell would have been the first one that was responsible. You must understand that we can say it's his son all we want to, but in a court of law, it was the prosecutor's job to squeeze him until he gives up his son. And if he wasn't going to give up his son, then he would have to be held accountable. Or the person who the vehicle was found in their possession would have to be held accountable until they can give justifiable information as to how the vehicle got into their garage. Because surely that vehicle did not drive away from that shooting scene and hide itself in my friend's garage. Surely there was a chain of conversation that said, yo, Brethren, listen, hide the vehicle in your garage for me, right? And do some work on the body, repair that part for me so it look back normal, so it don't look like you know what I'm trying to cover up. It's plain, okay? So that is the part that I'm saying that he needed to be held accountable. If the least he was not charged with murder, he should have never have been acquitted. He should have been charged with obstruction of justice. He should have been charged with hiding evidence. I forgot what they call it when you hide evidence, when you lie, perjury. There are a list of charges that could have been laid against him. A list of charges that could have been laid against him, and they were not. Okay? So that is where it stands. And that is what I was talking about. The system itself is not just, and it's not just. They cannot get real justice for certain people because of the people that are in the system working, like Paula Llewellyn. I'm saying her name because I've seen this over and over again with her. The Kentucky Kid case could not have been any more clearer. Yet this lady was brave enough to get up in court and say, there was just not enough evidence. Really? Any of you that are familiar with the Kentucky Kid case, if you're not familiar, go back and look. Robert Hill. Go Google Robert Hill. YouTube Kentucky Kid Robert Hill. This man knew he was going to die. They told him they was going to kill him. They tried many times. They eventually did. He set up video camera and everything. Caught all them barefaced coming into his house. Beating him up, beating his wife, everything. All these evidence were in possession of Paula Llewellyn, and she got up and said there was simply not enough evidence to bring these men in uniform to justice. So Kentucky Kid gets murdered, nothing comes of it, no one goes to jail for it, and the story continues. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. And this is the system that we are supposed to trust. I think what it is, even with Jamaican people, is they're conditioned to, if they like someone, then they cannot be guilty. And if they don't like someone, then they have to be guilty. And that's just where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm going to leave this one right here. I'm not going to go any further. But I just explained to you exactly how Mr. Powell should have been held accountable at a minimum. Not to mention failing to turn over his firearm. Refusing the judge's orders to turn over a firearm that you are #1 suspect in a murder for. And it was never reported stolen before, and then all of a sudden there was a story of, well, I just came in one day and the safe was open. But that was never reported. Anyhow, like, comment, share, subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm out. Peace.